Shalom Israel, first and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you brothers throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching us truth and righteousness and sincerity. To you Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on, serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. All right, I'm about to play this whatchamacallit, part of excerpt from Vlad TV interview with BG Knockout. You know, any of you older people, maybe my age or even a little older, if you remember, this is the young kid that used to be on Eazy-E songs dissing Dr. Dre and Snoop and all of them. And, you know, he's a grown man now. You know, when you saw him, you know, he was like 16, 17 years old on that song, Real Compton City G's. And like I said, now he's a grown man. You know, since then, he's caught a lot of charges. He did like 10 years in prison for, I believe, attempted murder or something like that. You know, but he's a grown man now. And like I said, you know, he's actually matured a lot. He gives great interviews with DJ Vlad. Now, I don't believe in what's on the title that Derek Chauvin is a different person from the one on the mugshot, but there's some very profound things that are being said in this video that I want to, you know, use to educate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as these protests and these riots that's going on since the death of George Floyd. I'm gonna play it now.
How are you above the law? You know what I'm saying? How can you enforce the law and be above it at the same time? That's a little strange, but...
You know, Lord Jamar, when I interviewed him about a week ago, we talked about the looting. And he feels that, number one, most of the looters are white. And he feels that some of the riots are staged.
This is not an organic revolution going on. This is something that's being...
I want y'all to pay attention to what he just said. He said, this is not an organic revolution. This is not organic. This is not real. This revolution that you see going on is fake. And this brother right here, last time I checked, he was a so-called 5%er. You know what I'm saying? He's bringing that out. And by the way, this is BG Knockout when he was like 17 years old. So we're going to, you know, it's going to cut back to his interview, but you know, I want to let this continue.
Influenced, agitated. There are people that are paid agitators that are out there right now who are doing certain things that ultimately we as black people are going to get the blame for.
Notice that he's talking about that there's going to be people out there that are paid to make the riots look worse. I'm paraphrasing what he said. I'm giving y'all a different perspective. And it's going to all fall on so-called black people.
You see what I'm saying?
I believe that.
We actually we've seen videos. Like, for example, I think like in Fairfax in LA, there was a group of protesters. And then right there in the path of their protest was an old abandoned police car, which they ended up destroying and lighting on fire.
Right.
But it wasn't an actual police car. You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
like someone put that car there
right
for the rioters to destroy it so there could be the imagery of,
I get that.
Oh, they're burning up police cars. They're not really burning up police cars. This was just someone's private vehicle.
Right. Because they sell those. You know, a lot of those cars come up for auction and things like that, and people are able to purchase them. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Anyone could buy a police car.
Yeah.
For relatively cheap.
Right.
You know, plus, like, for example, I've seen videos in New York where people are, you know, putting big boxes of bricks,
right,
on the corners of strategic locations.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, so there is, I mean, look, because it is such a multiracial group of people, you could have Nazis, white supremacists, right wingers.
So what Vlad is saying is that you could have in these same riots, you got people that hate black people, so-called black people, Hispanic people, that engage in the riots just to get free shit. You know, so and you have paid agitators, you have people that are in there that are not really part of the movement trying to make shit happen. They're just paid actors trying to rile people up and or cause damage that's going to ultimately be blamed on so-called black people.
White separatist militia or whatever else.
And I believe that's the case. I really do believe that's the case. Because you I don't know if you've been seeing the videos, like this one girl had confronted these 3 girls in a car who were passing out bricks out the car, like 3 white girls rolling up the street, passing bricks out. Then you see these white girls painting BLM on all of these buildings. I've even seen some cops in New York, bro, breaking into a jewelry store with like some type of saw or something like that. I was like, man, you know, it's crazy.
Cops in New York breaking into a jewelry store. Cops in New York breaking into a jewelry store. Let that register.
It's a crazy, crazy thing going on out there.
Yeah, because you just didn't see that in the LA riots at all.
At all, no, at all.
Were there any white people?
The LA riots was Issachar, so-called Mexicans and so-called blacks, Salak, tearing shit up. You know, so this one you got white people, you know, involved in the shit. But the real LA, the real riots, the LA riots, that was so-called black and Hispanic people destroying shit together. That, you know, black and Hispanic people that normally fight against one another. You know, Dr. Dre even made a song about it the day the niggas took over. And he said Bloods, Crips on the same squad with the essays helping nigga. I think he said helping nigga, it's time to rob and mob. But anyway, moving on.
Were there any white people walking around during the LA riots?
No, bro. I think they were scared, bro. It was mainly Hispanic and black. I think it was mainly Hispanic and black. I don't recall seeing no white people, unless they were from the hood, you know, which we do have scattered throughout LA. A nice portion of Venice. You know, it's a lot of white gang members over there. You know what I mean? But yeah, it wasn't common in LA. No.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be.
I mean, he was there. You know, this is if you even see his shirt, it says born and raised Compton. You know, and he was, like I said, he was the guy, the little kid in the video. Not little kid, but he was like 16, 17 years old, dissing Dre and Snoop in him.
Definitely something for the history books. Like, we're looking at historic times right now.
They said all 50 states, right? All 50 states protested. That's interesting. That is deep.
Yeah, because the LA riots, I mean, I remember in 91, 92, I had just, you know, that was my first year at UC Berkeley.
Okay.
And I remember, you know, I had my close group of friends were all black, so we all kind of went out together. But we were just walking around just to see. And there was a little bit of rioting in Berkeley. You know, there was like the Urban Outfitters had gotten broken into, and right. a couple of cars were fucked up. But there wasn't a huge protest, wasn't a riot. It was just kind of like a side effect of LA.
Yeah.
It wasn't spreading. And the Bay and LA are close.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm saying that into the Bay and Berkeley, which is considered like one of the hubs of social protest.
Absolutely.
The fact that we had so little of that in Berkeley shows how different it is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I've seen nothing on this scale. I mean, we have riots throughout, you know, this country, man, all through the 19th and 20th century. You know what I mean? Like, I had a book on all the riots that.
Yeah, but anyway, you know, just wanted to put that out there because I think it's very critical that we understand that the things that are going on here are not organic. It's staged. I'm not saying that all the riots and all the protests are staged. I know people that have been involved in some of these protests, and they're sincere people. But for the most part, what's going on here is because Esau does that. Esau will take something that's really happening and throw in some fake shit into it. So we can't necessarily completely distrust you know, what we see as far as, you know, like when you see people protesting, you got people that really mean that and really think that those protests are going to do something. And you got people out there really rioting, thinking that the riots are going to do something. And then you got people out there that's paid to instigate the riots, or paid to hand bricks out or put bricks in strategic locations and things like that. So that at the end of the whole thing, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh, you know, so-called black people are fucking, you know, savages. I'm starting to see a lot more Hispanics, unfortunately, on that all lives matter and kind of speaking on the other side of this issue, acting like we're, you know, like white America loves us any more than them. You know, but anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.